You can hear me. Um, yeah, this is kind of a weird setup. This is my new talking head setup. I was hoping I could avoid having to do one of these kind of videos, but I'll be honest, I got busy today and didn't really have the time to make a video like I've been making for the past 3 days. When I started this, it was just to kind of stay busy, but I've had some good feedback just from people who, mostly my mom and another friend's mom, telling me to continue doing it. So, and I'll be honest, their age group is the ones that we're most concerned about. So I'm going to try to keep on making these videos if it helps out anybody who's kind of feeling like they're stuck being in their own house or their apartment or can't get out and just do normal things. Then I'm going to keep on doing it. And so this is my setup now. I've got a big old freaking light that's like shining into my eyes. It's not too bad though. I've got my microphone here, and I've got my wide angle camera that's making me look like I've got just a enormous nose and a really round face. It's not the ideal setup, but I'm married already, so I'm not looking to impress anybody. Um, and then also I've got my computer right here in front of me, and have a couple of subjects that I had written down, just things to talk about. This isn't going to be that long, but wanted to tell you about some things that I was thinking about. So I was taking Tilly for a walk today. I was just walking around and actually started to think about, hearing about the news. And whenever you hear the news, the coronavirus thing is kind of scary. And it's just the numbers just keep getting bigger like they said it would. And the graph just keeps going up and up and up. And it's just kind of annoying to see something that they said is going to happen continue to happen. But one thing that I was just wondering about, and I'll be honest, I haven't done any of the research on it, but when this first started happening, maybe a week, 2 weeks ago, you started hearing from some of your favorite celebrities and some of your some sports stars. I remember kind of telling Jackson, oh, hey, Kevin Durant's got coronavirus, and Idris Elba, and let's see, I don't know, some people from The Bachelor or something like that. But you saw them when they looked totally fine. They didn't say any of the real symptoms they had, and they're just like, yeah, I've got it, and that's the way it is. I kind of want to see them now. I want to see what they're looking like, considering that they're probably eating a lot healthier than I am, and in better shape than I am, and I'd like to see how it's affecting them. I actually watched Binging with Babish just recently, and it looks like he's got it, and he sounds like hell, and it looks absolutely terrible. It's a funny video, and I'm glad he's making it, but he looks really sick, and he sounds terrible, and he's coughing a ton. But I guess most importantly, I'd like to see Tom Hanks. I'd like to see a picture of him holding some sort of like newspaper from today just to make sure that he's still alive, kind of like a proof of life. But who knows? Maybe he has. Go ahead and comment under this video and tell me if he has. But want to kind of get an update on exactly how bad it's affecting us. I'll be honest, when I watched that Binging with Babish where he makes the cold remedy from oh god, what was the name of that show? It was on Nickelodeon, and it had that guy that's been on SNL for like 3 decades. Keenan Thompson, Keenan and Cal, I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of the show, but it was pretty funny. But yeah, he looks terrible, and he eats pretty healthy, so I'm surprised that, but he does live in New York, but I mean, and he's younger, so it looks like it's hitting him pretty good. But anyways, he's still making videos, so that's good. Other thing I was thinking about, some other movies that have kind of these deal with end of the world issues would be 28 Days Later. That's the Danny Boyle one that was, I think, from like 2000 or 2001. That one's pretty cool if you haven't seen it. It's a zombie movie, but it's one of those movies where if you get, unlike most zombie movies, where if somebody gets bitten, that sometimes is part of the plot is how long can they hide the fact that they've been bitten. This one, if you get blood anywhere in like an open orifice or something like that, you turn into a zombie within like 5 seconds. So that's really not a part of it, but it's a pretty good movie. And then I actually liked the sequel to it, 28 Weeks Later, which was more of like kind of just a visceral action movie, but it was really well done, and I really dug it. I really liked it, and it was cool because it's just more of the same from the first one. You're just seeing a lot of empty streets, but it's kind of like the idea of how would they repopulate a city that's been completely destroyed without any of the infrastructure really being taken down. But good movie if you have a chance to see it. 28 Weeks Later. There's also a really funny part where it's where a guy's losing control of a helicopter, but then somehow manages to like right it, and then just pretty much just chops up a bunch of zombies that are running. It's just, I remember watching it and just being like, what? I'm I'm not dying, trust me. I'm just talking for too long without drinking water. But other thing I want to talk about was just working from home. I really don't like it. It's probably going to be something that's employed even more going forward after this incident, or at least have the ability to do it. The reason I don't like it is I deal with a lot of angry people in my job, and this is my personal working space. This is where I try to create things that are fun and, important to me. And now I'm getting a whole bunch of bad memories from this one room. And it's kind of like a prison cell. It's the smallest room in the house. It's like 10 feet by 10 feet, if you can even call that a room. But as you can see, it's not finished. I was going to put up some actual trim here, get some nice photos set up in the back there, something fancy, get some better lighting. But hey, I said I'd be making a video every day, and I'm going to stick to that. So even if the content sucks, which so far about 3 days, we probably had about 3 days worth of crappy content. But the next thing I was going to talk about was actually, it's funny. One of the other movies that I really like that just kind of gives you a sense of dread and there's no escape from whatever's going on is actually the remake of Dawn of the Dead. The original Dawn of the Dead's really good and creepy as hell too. It's definitely a better movie. But Dawn of the Dead, the remake with the fast zombies, I think it's Zack Snyder's best movie. And it's part of the reason I've been so disappointed in most of Zack Snyder's other movies, was because this one was really good, and it was like the first Zack Snyder movie I think I ever saw. Yeah, just nothing but dread. There's no way you're going to escape this, and even the small victories are overshadowed by this just sense of doom that no one can escape from. It's actually why I stopped watching The Walking Dead, because after about 2-3 seasons, it's like, where are we going with this? What's the point of it? I like a little bit of dread, and maybe for an hour and a half to 2 hours, but binge watching like 4 seasons, 7-10 seasons of it, that's a bit much. So, yeah, so those are the other movies that I wanted to just bring up that I remember just like, oh, I totally had forgotten about that. But the other thing was, and I don't know if anyone else is getting this, the past few days I've been using I've been getting like this really itchy purchase finger. And I would say it's probably just because I can't go spend money. And that's been really odd because I keep going to newegg.com, which is a computer retailer, online retailer, and building a really nice, fancy new computer, putting it in a wish list. My wish list right now is called Most Expensivest, which is a show I think on Vice that my buddy Spencer told me about. It's really funny. You should watch it. I forgot. I think the guy's name is 2 Chainz, but it's hilarious. But I keep doing that and then not buying it. And I feel like I've spent thousands of dollars this week, but I haven't done anything. I haven't spent any of it. Sale prices come, sale prices go. I imagine how cool it would be to have it, but I don't. I'm still using my 10-year-old computer, but it seems to be doing the job just fine. Um, and and it's just something that at this point, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are in my boat. They're not spending money because they don't know what things are going to be looking like in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Or I guess I should have gone back down from there. 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 24 hours. Things are changing constantly. And I really don't feel like spending any money. And, I mean, my wife's been laid off for the foreseeable future, just considering the fact that the business that she works at is closed. I'm luckily still working. Like I said, though, don't like working from home, but our office is officially closed now. So I can't get into the office even if I wanted to. And yeah, and so in just regards to that, I know there's people out there that have it worse off than me. And I wanted to say that just don't spend any money that you don't have to. I'd recommend that. Okay. Yet another thing that I've been looking at wanting to change has been my camera because it can only record for 12 minutes at a time. So I was going to talk about Dave Ramsey, and I watched his live streaming event tonight, mostly out of a sense to kind of be reminded that whatever I'm doing right now seems to be the right move. Not making outlandish purchases, not spending money I don't have to. And I can tell you that my wife and I and our family are in the position we are now in terms of our security, primarily because of Dave Ramsey's plan. A lot of smart people don't need that, but if you weren't exactly given the best personal finance advice when you were younger and it just didn't make sense, the idea that you shouldn't have debt is like kind of mind-blowing. And it's something that sounds very simple, but a lot of people really, I guess, don't follow that. So it feels really good right now to be in a position where we're pretty secure. One of the things I've not been worrying about is, if we're going to get any money or where the next meal's coming from. So, and actually in a position to help people. So, just want to tell you guys that that was essentially it. It's not the funniest thing. Just want to kind of give you some ideas or tell you some of the things that I've been thinking about during this whole thing. I've got an idea for a video for tomorrow, and thank God it's going to be the start of the weekend, so maybe I won't feel so pressured to go to bed at a decent hour. But yeah, this has been kind of fun making this stuff, and like I said, even if I only get calls from my my main audience, which is apparently 60 to 70-year-old women, that's fine. I'll take it. So to my mom and to Joe Tercey's mom, you guys are the reason I do this every night. So you guys take it easy out there. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And we're going to get through this. Just be nice to each other too. So see you guys later.